Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. So today I'll laugh because I had planned to do this talk. And then I got on morning prayer with my pastor and realized that he was doing a version of the same message. And so at first I was like, I'm not going to do this right after he gets done. And then I just decided that I was going to do what I was supposed to do, which was this topic, because maybe it's just reinforcement for someone who needed to hear it again or in a different voice. But the message is similar to the one that my pastor just gave on morning prayer, which makes me laugh because literally I got off 2 minutes ago and this message was already my message. So today's topic: take a victory lap, then train for the next race. Take a victory lap and then train for the next race. We spend so much time grinding towards our goals. This week I talked about purpose, principle, passion, and using it all for people. We grind so much around our purpose and our goals that when we finally win, we barely pause before chasing the next. But hear this: you don't dishonor your future by celebrating your present. It's okay to stop and be like, yes, yes. After I finish a speech, y'all, I stop and I'm like, Lord, thank you for that moment. That just, yes. When kids got the message and the light, I saw the light bulbs go off. I celebrate in that moment. Every race that you finish deserves recognition, and every victory should prepare you for what's next. So today's message is really simple: take the victory lap, then train for the next race. How do we do that? Celebrate what you survived and what you achieved. Celebrate it. That's the first step. Don't minimize your wins. You didn't just arrive here. You endured, you pushed, you prayed, you worked hard, you processed pain. So it's okay that your victories aren't always trophies. Maybe your victory is that you healed from something that you thought would take you out. Some wins, they don't come with applause, they come with peace. So take the victory lap. Pause long enough to say, man, this last thing that I did or that I came through, I grew. I did something I've never done. I showed up. I quit. I didn't quit. I became stronger. Victory laps are not arrogance, y'all. They're about acknowledgement. If you don't honor your progress, if I don't honor my progress, we'll forget how powerful persistence can really be. If we don't honor the progress that we're making, it's easy to forget how powerful persistence is. Yeah, sometimes the lesson isn't in the win. When I played sports, I didn't always win, but sometimes I learned something about myself or about my opponent in the loss. And I finished. My mother made sure that no matter what we started, we always finished. So most of the time, even when I'm not on 100, I celebrate the fact that I finished, because I had a mother who said, you can't finish what you don't start, and everything you start, you will finish, because that's our family motto. Finish what you start. Good morning, Miss Brown. Good morning, Miss Woods. So I don't know where people get the notion that there's anything wrong with celebrating a win. The second thing, reflect on the race that you just ran. Reflect on the race that you just ran. Every finish line holds a lesson. When I get done with a speech, this is my process. I ask myself, when I'm coming back on a plane, I'm writing and I'm asking myself, what did I do today that worked? Especially if I'm trying out new material. What worked? What didn't? What part of today's speech stretched me and made me work hard? Because if you're working hard, that means you're growing. What slowed me down? What didn't work today? What would I take out if I do this speech again? What did I learn that will make me take that out? What kids heard the message? And which kids did I miss with the message? Because I want to hit every kid so that if I'm reflecting on the race that I just ran in real time, I have the opportunity to course correct for the next time? What do I need to not do again? You ask yourself, who supported me? What do I need to leave behind? Reflection turns your experiences into wisdom. That's why it's so important after a victory to do reflection. Because if you don't review the race, you'll repeat the same mistakes in the next one. My son ran track. He played football, but he also was, he's mad fast. And so after he got done, I used to record all of his races. And after he got done, I would ask him, what did you do well in this race? And what do you need to correct so that you improve your time in the next race? This is where growth happens. It happens in the pause right after the victory, not just celebrating the outcome, but studying the process that got you to whatever the outcome was. So one of the things that I do is I always understand that reflection today is revelation for my tomorrow. That was a preaching word right there. Reflection today is revelation for my tomorrow. Good morning, Deaconess Rhonda. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Toya, and good morning, Alana. It's reflection for tomorrow. The third thing, train with intention for what's next. Now, I told you, take your victory lap. There's nothing wrong with celebrating success. Next, do some reflection so that you learn in real time how to get better for the next. So now it's time to train with intention for what's next. We sometimes forget. We spend too much time standing on top of the victory pole, and we're going, yeah, that we forget that it's time to get ready for the next race. When I finish one speech, I start writing the next. When I go back and I watch this Coffee with T later, and I will, I'll say, don't do that again, T. Look into the camera more when you're talking. I give myself feedback and I take notes on this because I want to bring y'all the best product that I have for you. I don't take it lightly that you give me 5 to 10 minutes every day. Some of you every day. You give that to me. You could be doing anything and you come on. I want to make sure I'm giving you tools that you can use. And so I literally go back and I start to train. Because victory, y'all, is never a destination. It's a transition. There's another race coming. Your victory in this one thing in your life, it's preparation for the next thing. Because life keeps lifing. There's another race coming, new challenges, new opportunities, new levels. So after the celebration and after the reflection, train. Strengthen your mindset. Kids ask me all the time, Miss T, what's the one thing you want to give us as advice on how to become successful? I say read. Because reading gives you discipline, even when you don't want to. And even if it's audible, you're increasing your capacity. You're giving yourself more knowledge so that every area that you go into, you're not mid. Every area you go into, you can practice excellence. So I want to encourage you, sharpen your skills, but also protect your energy. You need to upgrade your discipline. It's discipline to produce. People are like, T, where are you getting this from? I say, everybody else is kicking it. I'm home thinking about what's my next coffee with T because I want to make sure that in this season, people are getting all the stuff that they need to be the best versions of themselves. Upgrade your discipline. Don't train out of fear. You train out of faith in what's ahead because what you got here won't automatically get you there. Just because I was good on this stage doesn't mean I'm going to be good on that stage. And so train. As I'm learning more about ministry, y'all have to spend much more time in the word so that I'm not a jackleg preacher who gets up there and preaches old stale messages that aren't rooted in the word of God. Honor the win, but prepare for what's next. So today, take your victory lap, celebrate the growth, reflect on the journey, then lace up your boots. Hey, because your story is not over. Your purpose is still unfolding, and your next race requires a stronger version of you. So take the victory lap, but don't get comfortable at the finish line. Train for the next race. I don't know who needed this, but I hope that this was, good morning, Jill. I hope that this was edifying for you. And I hope that you got some nuggets today. And I hope you don't just come on to hear. I hope you take these things and start to implement them in your lives. Because y'all, I don't care what stage of life you're in. I don't care if you're in the first third of your life, the middle third of your life, or the last third of your life. Wherever you are, y'all, it ain't over until you take your last breath. So I want to encourage you, celebrate what you survived and what you achieved. Reflect on the race you just ran and train with intention for what's next. And I promise you, if you do, life gets richer and it gets better. Don't stop until you take your last breath. I'm the amazing T Street. There's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me. It's not in each and every one of you. And for the record, Jill, I needed this morning too, because I don't ever want to become complacent. As the kids told me, Miss T, you wasn't created to be mid. I'm not created, and neither are you to be mid. Have an amazing day, y'all.